Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for today's question and answer video. I hope everyone had a decent holiday season, still going, New Year's coming. Any of you who had a bad holiday season or still having one, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Next year can be better. It's up to you. Try to learn from what felt bad this year and don't do it next year, okay? Trying to understand what feels good and try to do that next year. And that might sound pretty elementary, but that's where some of us are at. That's where I've been at, where I didn't realize I'm doing things that feel bad and I'm not repeating things that feel good. We get confused with who we are and what we want and what feels good and stuff like this. And we think things feel good momentarily and they end up making us feel worse, like toxic people, don't they? So any of you had a bad holiday, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. If it's still continuing, try to stop it. And let's learn from it and let's not do it again. Next year can be much better if you want it to be, okay? It can be whatever you want. All right. I recommend something every week. This week I'm recommending another book. I've recommended this book, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, and it's just a really good one. Sometimes I'll repeat recommendations. I have a couple times, not many. This time I am. This book is called Unf Your Brain. I like swearing. I swear. I do. But on this channel, I get docked and stuff like this for swearing. So it's UNFUCK, Your Brain. Unf Your Brain by Faith G. Harper, PhD. She's a doctor. This is a fun book. It's fun. It's funny. It's great. No, I'm just going to read the preface here. A no-nonsense and helpful guide on how to cope with a slew of mental health issues that are hell-bent on ruining the lives of millions of people worldwide. Our brains do their best to help us out, but every so often, they can be real assholes, huh? Having meltdowns, getting addicted to things, shutting down completely at the worst possible moments. Your brain knows it's not good to do these things, but it can't help it sometimes, especially if it's obsessing about trauma it can't overcome. That's us. That's where the life-changing book comes in. With humor, patience, science, and lots of good old swearing, Dr. Faith explains what's going on in your skull and talks you through the process of restraining your brain to respond appropriately to the non-emergencies of everyday life and to deal effectively with old or newly acquired trauma, particularly post-traumatic stress disorder. This is a great book. It's really good. I enjoyed it very much. I know many of you guys have too. Those of you who have read it, please let us know what you think down below. And I highly recommend this book. Good, easy, fun reading, little comedy, and really helps us understand our mental health. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's get ready with the questions. Sorry, I just had a little allergy attack or something. And the first question is from, or the first statement is from Prairie Warrior. You do a great job educating us. Thank you, Prairie Warrior. I appreciate you very much for telling me. Thank you. And next is Jennifer in the United Kingdom. Hello, Jennifer. My therapist gave me a box to put things in that make me feel good. It's the emergency feel better box. I have some lavender spray for pillow, a photo of me as a child who I love, a quartz crystal rock salt for earth, chamomile tea, my favorite perfume, Scandal, my little book of mindfulness, a picture of the ocean. It's a great idea. It brings me a sense of belonging and peace. It's by my bed. Thought y'all might like to do the same. It's a great help and you can use, it's great help and you can use all you. Okay. Thanks, Jennifer. That's a great recommendation. Never thought of putting in an actual box. Those of you who have been my clients and are watching, you know that I make most of you that need it, a feel-good list. And this is more self-awareness. We come out of trauma, we come out of abuse, and stuff like this. We don't know who we are. We lose a sense of what I was saying earlier, of what we want and what we need and how I feel. And so when we're depressed, and depressed comes with trauma and loss, things like this, when we're depressed, we don't feel like doing things that make us feel good. We don't even think of it. And if we think about it, we don't feel like doing it. We don't think we're worthy of it. And I don't want to. I just want to sit here by myself and feel bad for myself. Being emotionally responsible means taking care of yourself. We are in dependent relationships. We've got to learn how to start taking care of ourselves. Okay? And so we have to force ourselves to do things that feel good sometimes. And so I'll make people make a feel-good list. One day when you're not down, think of every single thing that makes you feel good, whether it's shows you watch or your bath. Jennifer talks about her favorite perfume. And I also make people, a lot of clients, get a photo of themselves as a child. It's great. you know, whether it's talking to a friend or going for a drive, going for a walk, playing with my dog, my favorite food, my favorite drinks, my favorite movie, my favorite show, okay? My favorite place to be in bed or whatever it is. So we have this huge list of things that we know make us feel good and we resort to when we don't feel good and we make ourselves feel better, okay? So that's a great advice, Jennifer. Thank you for recommending that. Nessa, United Kingdom. Hello, Nessa. When you want a best friend, this guy named David is here to help you become healed and loved. Happy Christmas, David. You've been the best gift to heal, and you're the best friend, the gift that keeps giving. That's so sweet, Nessa. You really, this last week I've had a lot of nice comments, a lot more than just Nessa's, a lot, and I really appreciate it, you guys. It's been very, very nice of you. I've been doing this, I think, 6 years, and I get great feedback. I totally do it to put information out there that wasn't there when I needed it. I know how horrible it felt. That's why I do this. But the feedback I get from you guys is great. It's really, really nice and warm and caring and sweet. And I really appreciate it. It's the best support. I wouldn't do any of this without all of your guys' support. So thank you very much. Thank you, Nessa, and all of you who just do everything to support this channel. It's really, really nice. It's so nice that what I wanted to accomplish is happening because of all your guys' help. Thank you. Monica from California. Hi, Monica. Thanks for the shout out, David. I'm in California, by the way. Sorry, I also didn't see the last video where my question was answered. But to add to that, if I had not contacted him first, it would have been 2 years with no Hoover, and he told me the reason he left me was he was afraid to tell me he was LGBTQ. Well, which one? He's lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transsexual. And but it's interesting because he still is able to have a girl on the side. And to elaborate on my other question, I met him and his friends would friend request a message. Okay, and I think your question got off. If you had a question in this, Monica, at the end, it got cut off. Could you ask me again today? Down below, thank you. And this is just really common. These are things I see and hear all the time. So it's not. It might be interesting, but it's not shocking or amazing. So I think he was telling you he's homosexual. He's gay, right? He's not saying he's just trans or bi because you're amazed that he has a girlfriend still. You got to understand, these people have no idea who they are. They don't know. They don't know what they need. They don't know what they want. They might tell you, and then it changes. They might tell you that I want something that they hate. They might tell you I want something I've never had before. They might tell you, so I want this, and the next second I hate this. They don't know who they are. So the sexual orientation is amazing. I mean, look at as before we're even adults, when we're teenagers, we don't know who we are. And people experiment sexually. People get thoughts. People buy into their thoughts. They think about a homosexual act, like, oh my God, I'm gay. It's like, well, are you? No. Okay, you had a thought. Just a thought. But if you don't know who you are, that thought gets planted into your soul, your being. I may be gay. I get this all the time. And especially people who have problems with relationships, like narcissists and borderlines and sociopaths, right? And then because it's never them. So it must be all men. I'm going to be lesbian. It must be all women. I'm going to be gay. I'm just going to stay neutral and never try again. I'm just going to be this. I'm just going to be that. Maybe I'm a woman. Maybe I'm a man. They don't know who they are. And that's why it's so profound as children. That's why this is such a problem with children. You've got one stance saying, let a child be who they are and figure it out. And then you got the other one saying, no, children can't make decisions like that for the rest of their life yet. That's the argument right there, right? With sex changes and gender identity problems. They don't know who they are. So I see this and hear this all the time. And with victims too, not just people with personality disorders, us. I see us do this a lot. But thanks for sharing, Monica. Thank you. And Maj, hope I'm saying that right. M-A-J, Maj. David, you are making tremendous change in people's lives. Thank you. Thank you. And tell us where you are next time. Thanks. Question, do you believe in the law of attraction? I think even if you work on yourself, you still might attract a narc or a borderline. Only you would see more red flags than before. What do you think about that? So the first thing we notice about somebody in person is their looks. right? And that's not who somebody is. But, you know, sometimes that's very important to somebody, what other people look like. And sometimes it's not so important to somebody. And it's good to know that about yourself. And typically the more you learn about yourself, the more self-aware you are, the more self-conscious, the higher emotional intelligence you have, you care less about how people look. You care less about how you look. And you really care about who people are genuinely, authentically. But you can be physically attracted to somebody. Now here's how I go. I think most people do. I can see a female. I'm attracted to females, the opposite sex. I can see a female and say, she's very attractive. And it could take about 5 seconds for her to open her mouth and say, she's not very attractive. I also don't meet somebody and go, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. I want her in my life. I want to kiss her. I want to, you know, that was 19-year-old David. Right. Now I see someone, oh, she's very pretty. I wonder what she's like. I'm going to, you know, maybe I'll take time to get to know her. I've also, you know, sorry, but stereotyping, typically the more attractive a female is, the more problems she has. Because society deems beauty as very important. And so when someone's very beautiful and gets that feedback all day, sometimes it gets in her head. So here's a saying that I love. I didn't make this up, but I love it. I wish I did. We date our own emotional self-worth. Period. So I can find somebody physically attractive right when I see her. And 20 years ago, that's enough. I want to get to know her. I want to hang out with her. I want to kiss her, you know. Now, I can see someone, she's attractive, but doesn't encourage me to approach her just because she's good looking. Now, I see a woman and I start to get to know who someone is, and I'm like, wow, she's very attractive. I like who she is. Now, here's the important part. As we get to know somebody that we are emotionally attracted to, they become more physically attractive. Same, you know, opposite. Someone we think is very physically attractive, as we get to know them, they can become very ugly. Literally. I have seen some of the most gorgeous female women in my life, and they are just ugly as hell, and there is no getting over that. You can't put a bag over who they are. And so here's the important part. As we heal, as we had toxic people in our families and we dated toxic people, and we have toxic friends typically. Doesn't have to be everybody, but typically. And as we heal, we become more emotionally intelligent and our self-worth rises. We stayed in relationships with someone who's a total piece of crap, who treated us like crap and is good for nothing, because that's what we thought we were worth. We are attracted to where we are emotionally. I used to feel so sorry for borderlines and covert narcissists, and they'd suck me in. I wanted to help them, change them. And I don't do that anymore. I don't care. So as we become more emotionally intelligent, our self-worth rises, and that's who we want to be around. We want to be around healthier people. A lot of you guys come out of these relationships and you say, oh, I met someone very nice and very boring. That's where you're at. Because eventually, nice, boring people are going to be great for you. If they're not, you're not there yet. If people are just too boring because they're too nice and too healthy, where does that leave you? Somewhere down here, still wanting this, right? So I'm going to read this again. Do you believe in this law of attraction? There's physical attraction. There's emotional attraction. Physical attraction we see right away. Emotional takes a while. Long time. Could take a very long time. I think if you need to work on yourself, you still might attract a narc or borderline. So you might still attract a narc or borderline. That won't matter when you're up here. When you're healthy, when you have lots of self-worth and you don't want that in your life anymore, and you're surrounded by other healthy people, it won't matter who's attracted to you. Does that make sense? It won't matter. And you will have some narcissists that overachieve and want very healthy people, but typically they want unhealthy people, like we were when we started dating them. People with low self-worth, low self-confidence, low self-esteem. And this was tough for me. I was like, nope, I have lots of self-worth, lots of confidence, lots of self-esteem. Didn't know myself, I guess. I thought that was me. But hindsight's 20/20, and I look back at my relationships and the choices I made and how long I made them for, and I'm like, no, that's not signs of somebody who believes they're worthy of something better. Now I am. And I don't care who is attracted to me. That makes no difference. Who am I attracted to? And I wrote it down a long time ago. I made a standard list of what people must have in their life. They must possess this. They must be like this to be in my life. And that is my self-worth. And that is what I'm attracted to. So any pretty girl can come along. Won't matter to me anymore. I'm not a kid. I want to know who she is. And that's the beauty of relationships. Taking that time to get to know somebody. Not jumping right in it. Not judging people and saying, nope, not you, nope, not you. Take the time to get to know people. We can do that better when we're not so scared. But our self-worth has to go up. It has to rise, because if our self-worth's down here, we're going to date we're attracted to other people down here. When you guys feel so sorry for someone that's so effed up, right? And you feel so sorry for them, you're identifying with that. Trust me, that was me. Now I don't identify with that. I don't need to help every single person that fucked up their lives just because I feel sorry for them or just because they're pretty. Okay? I hope I answered your question. Thank you very much, Maj. And I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you. And Jennifer again from the United Kingdom. Hello, Jennifer. David, I think you meant to say, is it normal in recovery to start to really feel grown up? The age I am, mature-wise, it's a new feeling. It's strange to me, but I feel like a responsible, mature adult, wondering what happened to all those years I lived. Hope this makes sense. It's liberating and gives me a feeling of making it. You know, like, I've come through. I'm emotional because it's been a war. I'm home now. Thank you, David. That's beautiful, Jennifer. I like that. Of course it makes sense. That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay? You're finally growing up. Yeah? Age doesn't matter, does it? Age doesn't matter. I know 60, 70-year-old children that never grew up, that can't take care of themselves. They can't even know how they feel or express it or can't even be vulnerable enough to tell somebody. Emotional intelligence. We're not born with it. Nobody is. We're taught. And it's up to our parents, our teachers to teach us, and our parents didn't know. Our parents don't know this stuff. So how could they teach us? And now you're teaching yourself, and your emotional intelligence is rising. And you're finally becoming an adult. It does feel good, Jennifer. Thanks for sharing that. I hope everybody else inspires to do that. Jennifer also says, inner ear, important to wear earmuffs. Acute labyrinthitis. The cold goes straight into inner ear. Found a little Vaseline. A great help as it generates heat, but always cover your ears. The last video, someone was mentioning when it's cold, they get tinnitus. And I just want you guys to know, as we are traumatized in childhood and we don't fix it, change it, stop it, we continue for years, we become so sensitive. And tinnitus is a big problem with people who suffer from trauma. I had massive tinnitus for a month one time. I thought I was going crazy. It makes people lose their mind. And it's just really common. I see and hear with victims of emotional trauma, prolonged. Everything from allergies to I can't smell perfumes. It's too much. For me, big one was sound. I can't stand loud music. I can't stand people bumping their bass in their cars. It drives me absolutely nuts. People honking their horns for every little thing. Just lay on. Like, oh, come on, man. I used to go crazy. Yeah. Tastes, smells. I couldn't taste. Things were overwhelming. Sometimes I'd say it's too much salt, too much this. People are like, what are you talking about? What do you know? You want to eat out of an old folks home? Yeah. I didn't get this, but real common is sensitive to light all the time. So sensitive. My big one was sound. Thanks for the suggestion, Jennifer. Earmuffs and a little Vaseline. Emily from South Africa. Hi, Emily. I've had this feeling for a long time, but I have no idea what it is or really how to explain it. I have a weird kind of longing for something or something greater than myself or an idea that is eternal. It has something to do with the relationship, I think, like the relationship between Hiccup and Toothless. It must be some show or something. And how to train your dragon. Something that cares about you, something that can keep me safe, and something that can also kill you if you don't respect it. Well, it sounds like me, Emily, to me, self-discovery. I wrote down here, it's your authentic self waiting to be realized, actualized, and you have never had your emotional needs met. I know you have never had your emotional needs met. Needs. More important than physical needs. So imagine if you've never had oxygen, water, food, shelter, dead. We can live without our emotional needs met. We can stay alive, but it's not living. And once we start doing this, we start feeling alive. Simply being able to be in tune with how you feel and express it and tell people, finally allowed to. Your beautiful self is emerging. Emily, allow it, welcome it, share it with people. Hey David, Ben from Florida. Hi Ben, I have a general question that I have noticed with a few of my abusers, some having BPD and MPD traits. I notice a lot of them will talk horribly about their friends, relatives, and partners to me while we were in a relationship, only for those same people to act all loving and affectionate only on Facebook. I find it confusing, almost gaslighting. Most BPDs seem to act like they care about people, but only on social media, and it confuses the hell out of me how they have so many social media friends and support on those platforms. Even the same people who the BPD talks bad about would tell me the time which they dislike the BPD person, but on Facebook. Okay, so you've got a group of people, some probably disordered, right? Abusive, exploitative. And then you have some people that are just sick in the group, like us, right? Don't quite have a personality disorder, maybe a traumatic stress disorder, but you have all these sick people in a group together, and that's extremely common, especially on a social media page that's fake. Who cares what anybody says? Who cares what anybody looks like? Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's fake media. Get off it. It doesn't serve you. And I know a lot of you want to start arguing and say, David, I love Facebook. I can keep in touch with all these people. Call them. Call them on the phone and talk to them, because if you don't, what's the point? What's the point of having somebody in your life that you went to high school with 20, 30 years ago, and you don't want to see, you don't want to talk to, you don't want to hang out, but you sit there and you do these little memes and GIFs and stuff on Facebook. It's just pointless. And the more of a life you had, the less you'd be on social media, period. That's it. I promise. That stuff is garbage. Get rid of it. You don't need it. If you want to talk to somebody, call them. Go hang out with them. Because this is just garbage. Total garbage. And she says she's got friends. She has no friends, right? This person doesn't have any friends. But you think she has friends on Facebook. They're not her friends. Associates, contacts, whatever you want to call them. The people with personality disorders don't have friends. They don't know how to meet people's needs. They don't have their needs met. They can't be vulnerable. They don't know who they are. They don't have friends. Trust me. Those are requirements for friends, for friendships. Like I said, they talk to people. They have contacts. They have associates. All their friends are on Facebook. They don't see them. They don't talk to them. They send stupid messages, talk crap about each other, say, look at me, look at me, look at me, poor me, poor me, poor me, and I'm sorry. Look at me, I'm so pretty. Oh, wow. Look what I did. Isn't that amazing? I'm amazing. It's just crap. The best thing to avoid all this is just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Stop looking. I do. I just went on Facebook and saw a couple friends that messaged me in November. Why didn't you call me? I don't look at it. And I feel bad I didn't message him back, but it's like, phone. Call me. Text me. Yeah. It's all crap, Ben. Don't look at it. Emily from South Africa. Hi, Emily. I posted a comment on narcissists and therapy, a video of mine. Should I rather post the future comments here to make it easier for you to see them? All of you, I'll just say this, I'll break it down for you. I post a video, I wait a day, two, answer the comments, come back, answer comments again, and I let it go. I have almost 900 videos. I can't keep up with all that. I'd answer hundreds. I used to. For the first year, I'd answer up to 1,000 comments a day. Imagine it. Not getting paid. Thank you very much. 1,000, up to 1,000 a day. I stopped doing that. So I answer questions after I post a video, and the most of them happen in the first day or two, 3 days, and I answer them. Any question you have about anything in this world that you want to ask me, go on the last question answer video. If it's Wednesday, go on the video I posted 2 days ago on Monday, question answer video. I'll answer everyone's questions. If I miss, I forgot, or I didn't see it and I'm sorry, ask me again. Okay? Always. Always go on my question answer videos, ask me any question you want. Give me suggestions on videos you want me to make, all that stuff. That's where I do all of it. And thank you, Emily. And then Emily also says, a younger guy, probably age 15 or 16, at the internship is really annoying. Just making a nuisance of himself, making jokes, probably for attention. I know it's not that serious, but still, I and the other guy told him that we are getting a bit tired of it and it's no longer funny, but he didn't care and just continue more. I just try to ignore him and continue with whatever I'm busy with people. People like this, he's a kid, first of all, Emily. So first of all, Emily's talking about work. Don't forget why you are at work. Money. There may be one or two of you that works for free, but we're there for money. Why do we want money? I want to pay my rent. I love my home. I want heat. I want my phone. I want clothes. I want food. Don't forget. We are not going to work to make friends, to meet girlfriends and boyfriends and all that. We're not doing that. You're going there to make your paycheck and then you leave. And so when something bothers you and bugs you, you say money, 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 money. Something like this, let him be a jackass. Don't tell him to stop. Encourage it. I'll do it again. Oh, I didn't see it. Huh? And then walk away. Don't be a part of it. Don't laugh. Don't react. Just let him be a jackass. Don't get involved. Don't let him not like you and start targeting you and making stuff up about you. Why do you want to fight a 15-year-old? Little child. Little smelly, stinky little kid. You're going there to make money, Emily. Let him be a jackass. Encourage it. Say do it more. I wish you were louder. And just keep working. Just keep doing your work. Paycheck. That's all we're here for, okay? You can also mention something to your manager, somebody who's ever controlling, who's ever in charge. Maybe mention it to them. They're interfering with my work. Don't go, they did this, they did that, they're a bad person. Just go, this person, the clowning around this person does all day is affecting my work. Can you transfer me somewhere else or keep him away from me a little bit as much as possible? Or actually tell him to work, do your damn job and manage, right? Don't say that. Okay, Emily, you're okay. You'll be all right. He's just a kid. You're not going to change him. You're not going to fix him. Might get rid of him, though, if you encourage that behavior over and just keep doing it. Oh, that was amazing. Do it again. Do it 5 more times. Do it louder. Do it in front of the boss. Do it to this person. Do it to that person. Beautiful. Great. God, I wish I could be so obnoxious. That's it. That's it, guys. That's all the questions. Thank you very much. If I missed any of your questions, ask me again, please. If I misunderstand your question, you misunderstand my answer, go down there. Ask me. Let me know what you think of my answers. Keep a little dialogue, all right? We can continue the same question, and you can just keep giving me more information so I can give you a better answer if you want to do that, okay? Any of you who wants coaching, you can find me at daviddemars.com. And all of you, please love yourself first, and I'll see you next year. Bye-bye.